For 110 years, the Town Hall and Council offices have been a landmark building in Hebden Bridge. It's a fine building. In fact, its architectural importance is recognised by its classification as a Grade 2 listed building, which was designed to reflect the civic pride which Hebden Bridge people felt for their town. And in the years since it was built, it's been an important place for the town. This is where you came to pay your rates, to register your births and your deaths, and to engage in local democracy.
As a young girl of 14 coming to this area, which absolutely fascinated me. I thought it was quite unique. Quite a lot has vanished, and we must do our best to preserve it. And this is one of those buildings that belongs to all of us in this area, not just Hebden Bridge, but the surrounding parishes as well.
The council debating chamber is a particularly fine room, with a magnificent plaster ceiling.
Absolutely beautiful. And there we have the bridge with 3 people on, just looking over into the water. Most beautiful chair. And the surrounding. It's things like this that we have to protect. And it was where you came with your problems, whether it was the sewage, water or whatever. You always came here to this building.
The town hall was built in 1897 and 1898 on the banks of the Hebden Water, just across from the new St George's Bridge, from the centre of the town. It served as the headquarters of Hebden Bridge and later Hebden Royd Urban District Council until local government reorganisation in 1974, when Calderdale took over responsibility for the building. Sadly, the last few years have been less glorious. The births and death registry was closed and moved to Halifax. The old housing office closed too, and Calderdale's cash desk is also under imminent threat. The building's fabric is suffering as well.
At Hebden Bridge Partnership, we began to be concerned about the future of the council offices, especially since Calderdale Council sold off the old adult education in Pitt Street, and we also lost the learner swimming pool there. When we looked at this building, we were concerned about the state of it, the falling plaster, the damp, the missing drain pipes, and the general sad state of it. Very few people come in here, and it felt as though it had got a general air of nobody caring about it. And we were determined to secure the longer term future of it for the people of Hebden Bridge.
But Hebden Bridge's town hall is too important to be lost. Thanks to actions from within the Hebden Bridge community, there's now real hope of the town hall having a new lease of life as a proper centre of community and civic activity.
Our town hall is a great building, but it was a building which was built for its time in the late 19th century, and we've got to make sure it's fit for the 21st century. And there are things like, for example, the stairs up to the front door, which aren't so good if, for example, you're a wheelchair user or if you've got a disability of some kind. So we've been talking to an architect about how we can make the building more accessible and more useful for the future. And one of our ideas is to convert the old fire engine garage. That's what you can see behind me. It's where the town's fire engine was stored for many years. We want to turn that into a new entrance hall, a place on the level where people will be able to go in, get advice, and get carried through to the back of the building where there will be a new lift to get you up to all the levels.
Perhaps the most exciting idea is for the empty ground floor offices at the back of the town hall to be brought back into use as a new public hall and function room for the town.
We've been developing plans to bring the old hall back into use. This is the area at the back of the council offices that has hardly been used since Pennine Housing moved out several years ago now, and Calderdale Council have only been using the front part of it as a cash desk. This is due to move into the new library very shortly, and we're developing plans to strip it out and turn it back into a public hall. And we hope to bring this back into use in the early part of 2009.
Hebden Bridge has lacked a community facility of this kind since the closure of the old Civic Hall in Crown Street. Not to mention the old cooperative hall which was lost when Hebden Bridge local co-op went out of business. The idea is to bring control of the Town Hall building back from Halifax to Hebden Bridge by arranging for its ownership to be transferred from Calderdale to a broadly based Hebden Bridge Charitable Trust. This idea, it's called asset transfer, has been warmly embraced by the government. In fact, the Department for Communities and Local Government actually mentioned the Hebden Bridge Town Hall by name in a press release in July 2008 as being suitable for an asset transfer arrangement. The government said the building has scope to be a significant community resource.
We've had a whole series of meetings with Calderdale over the last 12 months. And in principle, the good news is that Calderdale are prepared to talk to us about transferring the building into community ownership. Of course, we've got to sort out the actual details of that transfer first. But in the short term, we hope very much that we'll be able to negotiate for the community to take over use of the public buildings in our town hall, the meeting room and the space at the back, early in 2009.
But taking over a historic building is not a light undertaking, and it's important to make sure that a community trust will be able to ensure the town hall's long-term financial viability.
We're now embarking on some major fundraising. The first task is to raise enough money to bring the hall back into use, and we're trying to raise about £50,000. This is partly to do the necessary building work, but also to equip it so that the hall is of a high standard, available for public use. But in the longer term, we're trying to raise a large amount of money, probably in the order of £2 or £3 million, to do the work on the whole of the building. This will include, we hope, building a creative industries centre on the car park that's adjacent to the building, and this will finally complete Hebden Bridge Town Hall, and we hope that it'll set it up for the next 100 years.
And Hebden Bridge Town Hall will only have a bright future if everyone in Hebden Bridge gets behind the idea.
What we're planning for Hebden Bridge Town Hall will really only work if the whole community pulls together. We're looking for 1,000 people locally to become friends of the Town Hall, and we've created a new charity, Hebden Bridge Community Association, which will be the organisation which looks after the building. If you become a friend of the Town Hall, you'll become a friend of the association too, and will be able to play your part in choosing the trustees who look after it. We've got 1,000 mugs too, one for each friend, so we hope very much you'll want to join up. You'll be able to pick up your mug in a lot of shops in Hebden Bridge in 2009. We hope very much you'll be with us on this project.
So here's the challenge: to find 1,000 people living in our community who want to ensure the town hall is saved for the future and not allowed to be sold off like the adult education centre was. And if we're to be successful, we need everyone's support. You'll be able to become a friend of the town hall in numerous local shops. Look out for the poster in the window, or by dropping into the building itself. And please remember too that children are also welcome as friends.
This fine building, which is a Grade 2 listed building, this belongs to you out there. All of us. And it's up to us to help to protect, preserve, and make this fine building usable into the 21st century, in the memory of all those who have served in this area down the years. It's a fitting tribute to them that at this time that, we all pull together to help to make this building even better, more usable for the present day. I'd like to think that in the future and the near future that we can come again and use this building as it should be used. And it's up to us and you to help to preserve this building.